Today, we're talking about a legend, Leander Paes. His name is Indian tennis, especially when you think about doubles greatness. Let's get into it.
So what makes an athlete a legend? I mean, really think about it. Is it just the trophies on the shelf? Is it how long they played? Or is it something more? Like the pride they bring to an entire nation? Just, keep that question in your back pocket because Leander Paes, well, he's a guy who checks all those boxes and then some. All right, let's just start with one mind-blowing number. 18. That's not a typo. 18 Grand Slam titles. I mean, that's just a staggering number. It puts you in a very, very exclusive club of all-time greats. So how does someone even get to that level? Well, to figure that out, you gotta go back, way back to the beginning. Because his story, his origins, that's where it all starts. They say some people are born for it, and with Leander Paes, it's kinda hard to argue. He wasn't just born into a regular family. We're talking about sporting royalty here. His dad, an Olympic bronze medalist in hockey. His mom, captain of the Indian basketball team. I mean, with genes like that, you've got to think he was destined for something special on the court. Okay, so he's got this incredible athletic background. But how did he turn that potential into actual stardom? Let's take a look at those first few sparks, the early signs that told the world, hey, pay attention to this kid. And those signs, they didn't just trickle in, they came in fast. By 1990, he'd basically conquered the junior circuit. I'm talking winning the Wimbledon junior title and hitting world #1. The next year, he turns pro. And while he had a really solid singles career, reaching number 73 in the world, his true destiny, his real calling, was just around the corner. And this is where you see the two paths of his career, right? On one hand, you have his singles career. It was good. It was solid. It had this one absolutely incredible, shining moment we're about to get to. But on the other hand, you have his doubles career. And that, my friends, was a whole different story. We're talking about pure dominance, a legacy that made him one of the GOATs. But yeah, before we dive deep into that doubles domination, we have to talk about that one shining moment from his singles career. Because this wasn't just a win. This was one of those moments that's bigger than tennis. It's what turned him from a great player into a national hero. The scene? Atlanta. The year? 1996. The event? The Olympic Games. I mean, for any athlete, that's it. That's the dream. It doesn't get any bigger. And right there, on the world's biggest stage, Leander Paes did something truly incredible. He won the Olympic bronze medal in singles. Now that's a huge deal for anyone, but for him and for India, it meant so, so much more. To really get why this was such a monumental moment, you need to understand the history. This wasn't just some medal to add to the trophy case. This was India's first individual Olympic medal in 44 years. 44! It broke this massive national drought and instantly cemented him as a true national hero. It was, without a doubt, the defining moment of his singles career. So, with that Olympic medal hanging around his neck, Paes really started to focus his energy. He took all that insane talent, those lightning-fast reflexes at the net, and that never-say-die fighting spirit, and he poured it all into doubles. And this is where the legend really, really begins. So let's circle back to that number I mentioned earlier, 18. It's worth saying again because a number like that, it's not a fluke. It speaks to years and years of excellence at the absolute top of the sport. And when you break it down, it's even more impressive. It wasn't just one thing. He won 8 Grand Slams in men's doubles and a whopping 10 in mixed doubles. That just shows you how versatile he was. He could win with anyone in any format. The guy was the complete package. And just look at the list of people he won with. We're talking about legendary partnerships. Of course, there's his fellow Indian great, Mahesh Bhupathi. But then there's also absolute tennis royalty, Martina Navratilova, Martina Hingis. When you win Grand Slams with that many different partners, you start to realize he was the common denominator. He was the key to success. That partnership with Bhupathi, though, that was something special. It captured everyone's imagination. They got this awesome nickname, the Indian Express, and it was perfect. They were this fast, powerful, unstoppable force that really put Indian tennis on the world stage in a huge way. So, you add it all up, right? The medals, the Grand Slams, all those legendary partners. What does it all amount to? What kind of legacy does a career spanning 3 decades actually leave behind? Let's take a look.
Well, for one, his impact back home in India is just immense. We're talking about the highest national honors. From the Arjuna Award way back at the start of his career, all the way up to the Padma Bhushan in 2014. These aren't just sports awards, these are some of India's highest civilian honors. It shows you he's seen as more than just an athlete. He's a national treasure. And if you want to talk about longevity, get this. 7. That's how many Olympic Games he played in. 7. From 1992 all the way to 2016. To compete at that level, for that long, it's almost unbelievable. You just don't see that kind of endurance in sports.
And it wasn't just the Olympics. He was an absolute giant for India in the Davis Cup, which is basically the World Cup of tennis. For decades, he was the heart and soul of that team. In fact, he holds the record for the most doubles wins in Davis Cup history. When he put on that jersey for India, something else came out. His fighting spirit was just legendary. When you boil it all down, it comes to this. Leander Paes isn't just a legend in India. He's a legend of world tennis, period. His career was an inspiration for an entire generation of players, and it was living proof that if you have the skill and, just as importantly, that relentless fighting spirit, anything is possible. And that brings us right back to where we started, that big question. Looking at everything Leander Paes accomplished, what truly defines his legacy? Is it the 18 Grand Slams? Is it that one historic Olympic medal that ended a 44-year wait? Or is it something you can't put in a trophy case? The decades of inspiration he gave to millions. Maybe the real answer is, it's all of it. And that, right there, is what makes a legend.